Alrighty, let's try this again. I just sat down to make a video and got a phone call right in the middle of it. So anyhow, hi everybody, just another quick video on a Tuesday. Hey, it's Happy Halloween today. Happy Halloween. Hope you're all doing well out there. Hope you're looking forward to having some costume fun, trick-or-treating, or cooking, or barbecuing, whatever it is you all do for Halloween. I'm more of a Day of the Dead guy myself. I kind of appreciate that Hispanic tradition. So anyway, happy Halloween, everybody. So, just wanted to cover a couple of quick things today, starting with this this Gillespie ad that's, I guess it's a few days old by now. Now, I don't know who Gillespie is. Some politician running for political office, and he happens to stand in a position of defense of Confederate monuments being removed. Well, let me rephrase that. He is opposed to Confederate monuments being removed. He wants to preserve people's heritage. Okay, now, whether you agree with that or disagree with that is kind of neither here nor there. Now, I can't remember what the ad was called, but it was depicting a white racist in a big F-150, a black F-150, with a Gillespie bumper sticker and a "Don't Tread on Me" sticker, with Confederate flags on his truck, chasing down minority children as if he wanted to kill them. And then at the end of the ad, all these kids wake up, you know, from a bad dream. Oh, and they even include a little Muslim girl in there, just so that you are left with the impression that maybe Muslims are a racial minority when they're not, actually. They're a religious minority, political minority, not a racial minority. Remember, folks, the ABCs of basics and logic: Muslims are not a race. Islam is not a race. Okay? Muslim is not an ethnicity. Muslim is one who submits to Islam, or to Allah, more specifically. So, they run this ad, anti-white, racist against whites. I mean, it's like so smack you in the face, blatant anti-white racism that it just, I'm baffled. I mean, I'm not even angry about it. It's just, oh my God, I can't believe. But then again, we're talking about the left. We're talking about the loony left. And where won't they go? To what extent will they not venture down the path of idiocy and total lunacy? I mean, every white guy with a truck and a Confederate flag is a racist wanting to run over your minority children. Yeah. Anyway, aside from all that bullshit, then today in New York City, I believe it was in Manhattan, we had another attack with a truck and guns, right? This guy drives a Home Depot truck, a white pickup truck, into the bicycle lane, running over at least a couple of people and then injuring a bunch of others. So far, I've heard reports that there are 2 dead and like 6 to 8 injured, something like that. And then he gets out of his truck with a couple of guns. Yosemite Sam, blam, blam, blam. Well, of course, police shot him down. There happened to be police nearby, which is good. Now, Yahoo reported this in typical leftist fashion. Oh, there was an attack. It was some dude in a truck, and who knows what the motive is. The one suspect is in custody right now. No details, and they keep harping on, oh, nobody knows what the motive is. Nobody knows what the motive is. Well, meanwhile, CNN picks up the report too. And according to CNN, an eyewitness claims to have not only seen the guy jump out of his truck, but heard him yelling Allahu Akbar. Okay, now, now once you know that the attacker, in whatever instance it is yelling Allahu Akbar at the scene of the crime, well, there's your motive right there. Don't pretend you can't figure out the motive when the attacker is yelling Allah Akbar, okay? Don't even go there, because you know exactly what the motive is to kill Westerners, to kill the kuffar, the kafir, in the name of Allah, in the cause of advancing Islamic civilizational jihad, or civilization warfare. Okay? That's their motive. It's spelled out crystal clear in the doctrine of Islam. Okay? It couldn't be any more clear. ISIS tells you, I mean, they have yet to claim responsibility for this attack, and who knows, they may not. They may go, wow, hey, he was a soldier of Allah, he wasn't one of ours, but hey, good job, buddy. You know that's eventually coming. So anytime you have any kind of an Islamic attack, and the guy's yelling Allah Akbar, you immediately know what the motive is. To bring Western civilization to a grinding halt and destroy it, okay? It's as simple as that. I mean, I don't care if you agree or you disagree, all you got to do is read and understand the doctrine of Islam, and it spells it out for you right there in no uncertain terms. Now, that makes every single Muslim on the planet who is commanded by Allah to commit jihad against the kafir, the non-Muslim, just in case you're wondering who specifically that might be, well, that makes them all potential jihadists, does it not? I mean, the only way you could argue that a Muslim could possibly have no intentions of harming anyone is if they were to condemn Allah and Muhammad, in which case that would make them not a Muslim, that would make them an apostate, and under Islam, especially under Islamic law, Sharia law, the penalty for apostasy is a basket of flowers. No, I mean death. Death. That's the penalty for apostasy. Okay? The basket of flowers is for some other occasion. I suppose I could have said a basket of candy for Halloween, huh? I know, I'm just being facetious. So, I mean, so there's that Gillespie ad, and then the terrorist attack, or jihadist attack, more specifically. And so, last thing, not that those two are related, but they're just interesting things that have happened within the last couple of days. And then this last incident happened just a few minutes ago while I was down at the store picking up a new, pouch of American Spirit tobacco. Well, I'm standing in line, and there's a couple of black girls in there. Yes, black girls. I'm sorry, I'm not just going to say a couple of young girls, a couple of kids. No, I'm going to be specific. They were black, okay? They were very, very good looking, too. I got to go there because they really were, like, good looking kids. Well, they both had candy and soda and, like, little knickknacks or whatever as they went up to the counter, right? And so they, and I couldn't see everything going on with their transaction, but apparently one of them had put down an item that they had been bouncing around, a little ball with the spiky things, a little squishy ball with spikes. And they were playing with it. And they put it down on the counter away from the other stuff that they meant to purchase. And the guy almost rang him up for that ball, too. And she said, no, wait a minute, I wasn't going to buy that. And he says, whoa, I'm sorry, why did you bring it up to the counter? She said, oh, I just wanted to play with it. And he said, oh, okay, well, you can play outside, but you can't really play in here, it's a store. This little snot-nosed, black, young girl looks at him and says, if you talk to me disrespectfully again, I'm just going to come in here and steal whatever I want. And they both turn around and walk out the store. Now this guy, the cashier, he didn't even say anything. He just went right on to the next thing. It was like he heard that sort of shit every day. I'm sorry, I'm not used to hearing that shit at all. I mean, if that had been my kid, oh man. If that had been me as a kid saying such a thing, oh my God. And of course these kids are unsupervised. And they made no pretense. They didn't try to whisper the threat. They didn't try and out of the side of their mouth. None of that. It was blatant, in your face. If you talk to me disrespectfully again, I'm just going to come in here and steal what I want. In front of everybody in the store. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, if it had been my store, I'd have been like, you're not welcome back in my store, and if I do see you come back in here, I'm not going to call the cops. I'm going to take you out back. I'm just going to work you over. Spank you on the bottom with a belt, like you deserve. Well, no, that wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't do any good. It wouldn't do any good because these kids, these black kids, right? And yes, I'm going here. I'm going to make the black kids angry because I'm going to call them out on their entitled bullshit. That mentality that says the world owes you something, and if anybody looks at you cross-eyed, well, you can just threaten them, threaten to harm them, threaten to steal from them. Or maybe you don't even have to threaten them. You can just lash out and harm them, steal from them, assault them, because you don't like them. Now, I was kind of surprised because the guy behind the counter was Indian. He wasn't white. But hey, apparently it doesn't matter to these punk kids. It doesn't matter. You say something they don't like. You say something that they can take and twist into or manipulate or shape into a perceived insult or a perceived belittlement or a perceived diss. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, these kids are growing up with parents that are teaching them to look for the slightest thing that they can use as an excuse to be violent, to be thugs, to be criminal, to be, well, I'm not even going to use the word criminal, to just be as uncivil as they can be, okay? And get theirs at whatever cost, no matter who they have to step on. Now, these are the kids that are going to be running the country. We aren't going to have a country. We aren't going to have a country to run if parents keep teaching their kids that this kind of behavior, this kind of talk is okay. You know, I mean, I can't imagine what would have happened to me as a kid if I had said something like that to a store owner. I'd have gotten my ass beat up one side and down the other until I was black and blue. I'm not kidding you. And if it was any kid of mine that did that and I ever heard about it, oh, grounding wouldn't cut it. Grounding would not cut it. I don't know what I would do as a parent. Really? I mean, beat them? I wouldn't do anything. What could I do? Well, you know, that would never happen because my chance to be a parent was stolen from me. And not only that, if I had become a parent, then I would have raised the kid in such a way that never would have happened to begin with. I would have established a relationship, a structure, boundaries, things that the kid would have to look forward to, activities that they could do with me as their parent that would be fun and engaging and keep them out of trouble. These kids don't have that today, especially black kids, and Hispanics, but more black. It's sad. And it's not just sad. This is the type of shit that's going to get them killed later on in life. Yeah, because when the shit does hit the fan in this country and the blatant anti-white racism starts getting to be to the point where people just are not going to tolerate it anymore, well, that's the tipping point. They're just going to get violent with you. And, you know, the media is constantly fomenting this race war. That Gillespie ad is nothing else except an attempt to stir the pot and to make minorities think that every white guy out there who's straight, owns a pickup truck, or might have a Confederate flag, or hell, let alone the don't tread on me snake symbol, right, is some racist that's out to kill their kids. I mean, that kind of sentiment, if that's pushed too far, it's going to come to a tipping point where white people are going to say, you know what? I've been called racist, I've been attacked to the point where now I'm just going to lash out at any minority I see because I don't want to be the victim of some racial hostility on the part of blacks, Hispanics, or anybody else. So I'm going to get them before they get me. And now you're going to have a real problem on your hands in this country. Then the race war will be fully underway, and there won't be anything you can do to stop it then. And that's when these kids that walk into the store and behave like that, that's when they're going to realize all that behavior, or maybe they won't realize it, but all that behavior that they've been allowed to get away with for so long is just going to get them shot. Think about that. What are you doing to your kids, America? Wake up.